All right, guys, today's video is all about trace minerals and adding nutrition to the island. This is one of the great advantages when it's your own property and you can live on it all the time. You can come up here immediately and start working on issues you're finding. So we had 1.5 inches of rainfall, which all of that P&K fertilizer I set out has now absorbed into the ground. There is another round of storms and rain coming this evening, tonight, all day tomorrow. I think tomorrow night and early Monday morning. And I'm not wasting this opportunity. I added trace minerals to these really weak areas here. I didn't have enough to cover the areas I wanted. I did put a small dab of it back in that weak area over there. Wasn't enough to greatly help it, but maybe a 20-foot patch over there or something. This back end was what was really lacking in growth. It's probably tied with the worst areas in the island. So I dosed this whole corner in Maganese and Sulfur. I also ran it all the way to this stump and then all the way right to the edge of that tall green area and looped it around. I'm trying to use the sulfur to raise the protein level. The color of this area here is a lot lighter green than many other spots in the island. So I'm lacking protein because it's not green enough. Sulfur will help with that transition and raise my protein level. So let's say because I've done this, I raise it maybe 8 to 10%. That don't seem like much, but you need at least 16 to grow a large buck. And if it's already sitting at 12 or 15%, and then you add another 10 or 12 to that, you're already in the 20s. So I may hit monster buck status based on required protein level for deer to grow larger. So that means once you get above 16, that is excess protein. Deer's antlers rely on excess. The more excess they have in their system, the bigger they can get. So that's why I'm doing that. The Maganese is here to help with holes in the leaves, but you also have to assume this too. As bad as this soil is and as low as the manganese level is, that means it's not only short in my soil, it's short in their bodies. Deer are only as good as your weakest trace mineral. So if it's, let's say it's boron, like I have major issues with boron. Boron affects an animal in many ways. You can look at all that review I have on boron in the community channel. I highly recommend checking that out. I post extra content in there, and I'm going to do another trace mineral run in the community section to help cover individual trace minerals and what they can do, why they are needed. There's even a trace mineral designed to help bacteria, and I will cover that as well. But right now my main focus is to increase tonnage, which because of the leaf removal, the tonnage is already on the rise. We have a warm spell that's kicking in. Will last another 2 or 3 days at the most, and this will help rejuvenate this part of the plot. The main plot is obviously much thicker than this, but it is doing better up here compared to last year. And if the deer hadn't been touching this period, this place would be 1.5 feet deep. That's how much of this they've mowed down. So it's working great. It just needs more push to make it more consistent and really try to help top these deer off to another level. And maybe I can tack on another 10 or 15 pounds of body weight. We'll see. So that's basically where I'm at. I'm adding trace mineral. I have another 176 pounds of trace mineral, the Azomite, on order. That will be here after New Year's, and I will be immediately applying that trace mineral as soon as rain and or snow is forecast. So I try to wait within 48 hours, douse the ground with it, let it partially dissolve with the amount of fog we've been getting lately, and then when the rain hits, it finishes it off. And this island should be rocking and rolling through the rest of January, February, and March. And hopefully the tonnage will grow thick enough that I can make an even thicker mat in here and really ramp up the soil improvement process, removing some more stumps, making more areas where I can till and plant things, especially right here. Big wasted area here because of stumps. Another big mound of stumps right there that's going to get removed. So there's a lot to do here, a lot to improve, and my goal is to make it better than it was last year. Simple goal. Do this every year, make it better than it was last year. All right, guys, so that's all I've got. I've used all my trace mineral that I've had stored. This was literally the last batch of it. I've still got another 100 pounds of synthetic fertilizer left, and I am done. That part will be done with as far as P&K, and I will switch to organic. And my goal will be to use 0 P&K once this soil is up and running. I think my first goal that I can do is 0 nitrogen. I got so many nitrogen fixers in here, and I've got enough problems with acidity. So by eliminating nitrogen fertilizer, I can balance this soil out a lot better. All right, guys, hope this helps you. Trying to get these deer pushed. I'm trying to grow them to the next stage. You all have a great day.